Uh, Hello, football fans. Sorry, I'm a bit late with the recap, but I was enjoying some good postseason baseball. Uh, of course, I'll recap the entire wild card series later when it ends. But it started with the American League games, all four of them, including the Yankees. Bla- we blasted, we blasted the Indians. Just blew them out. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. But days before one New York team delivered a blowout in one sport, another one was blown out by a team who was missing their best quarterback, running back, tight end, and defensive linesman. Unbelievable. Just what I think the most embarrassing things about New York City are James Dolan and the Knicks and the Mets. The Giants are trying to put their throw their name into the hat. They get blown out at home by the replacements. Basically, you may as well have Keanu Reeves a quarterback. If you don't get that, you really need to watch that movie. It's a classic. But yeah, 36-9 is the final score. Jarrett McKinnon ran all over them, and so the Giants are screwed, as are the Jets. But they're just a hot mess. They got blown out too, 36-7 by the Colts. At least the Colts didn't have anybody injured, just the running back, but that's it. But yeah. So on to some better NFL talk for Week 3. The Steelers are 3-0, which is good, which is always fun. They even better. They handed to the Texans, who I'm just wondering if they missed DeAndre Hopkins yet. No? Well, okay. Oh boy. But yeah, the Steelers. It was kind of a tough game, but they gave it to them. And what made the game epic was that all three Watt brothers played. Of course, JJ representing Houston, Derek and TJ representing Pittsburgh. That's an epic moment because I'm a big fan of those Watt brothers. They're amazing. They're just amazing. Of course, they co-host that show Ultimate Tag, which airs on Fox, and I hope gets another season because that's a very good fun show. But on the subject of Pennsylvania teams, the Eagles. Mm-mm. Do you miss Nick Foles yet? Are you sorry you let him go? Are you sorry that you let one of the Packers' rivals get him, and now they're going to start him? No? Well then. Oh boy, Carson Wentz just can't do anything right. Uh, when you see completely stupid people like Carson Wentz, you often wonder how he lasted this long. Not just in football, but in life in general. I mean, he's an interception machine. He can't throw the ball to save his life. He expects receivers to catch his very uncatchable passes when even Antonio Brown in his prime couldn't catch him. Yes, I know he was a Steeler, but still, he was one. He with his problems was one of the best receivers in the league. And yet, people tend to make it. See, this is what I don't like. People tend to make excuses for idiots like him. People that remedial and stupid on the football field don't deserve excuses. All they deserve is criticism and blame. The Eagles tied Cincinnati. Cincinnati now. So they've played two of their three games against the dregs of the NFL. The dregs, and I'm being nice when I say dregs. In Washington, the Washington football team, and the Cincinnati Bengals. They lost to Washington and tied Cincinnati. And people, these excuse making people need to face facts and accept reality. The Eagles don't have a win, and the reason can be summed up in two words: Carson Wentz. Should have kept Foles. But at least they have a better record than the team I'm about to mention, the Minnesota Vikings. Oh goodness! Anybody still regret picking the Vikings to win the division? No? Still think they are? Even though Kirk Cousins is all they have. Huh. I'm sensing a theme here. But, oh my goodness. It's just beautiful karma. Now, I've said this many times in the last 20 years. I am not supposed to be smarter than the NFL media. Turns out not only am I smarter than the NFL media, I have been for 20 years. I literally scoffed at people saying the Vikings were going to win the division. They lost Stephon Diggs. Doesn't matter. This is their year. They're going to win it. They with one less receiver and nothing but Cook and Cousins are going to win a division with Aaron Rodgers in it. Yeah. Meanwhile, I got a bridge somewhere in Fullerton I can sell you. Ugh. Oh, well. The Rams played a hell of a slobber knocker. At least they turned it into one. It wasn't supposed to be. The Bills were up 28-3. 28-3. Again, another trend. And they they blew it, but they held on. And the Rams and their fans kind of complained about that pass interference call. It's not ironic, but that ended up leading to the Bills getting a touchdown. So they held on, and they're 3-0, which is good for them. But at least when they blew a lead, they held on and came back. Atlanta did it again. Even worse, they did it to one of our division rivals. Am I regretting picking Atlanta to win? No? Well, guess I'm part of this problem too. I'm actually kidding. I did regret picking Atlanta because I knew they would screw this up. Some people in sports you could just depend on to just fail and do nothing. Russell Wilson's one, and the Falcons are another. That's 2 weeks in a row they've blown the lead. And here's some numbers. I said this last week. When they had that lead in Dallas, over Dallas very late, Atlanta had a 99.9% chance of winning. When they were up by, I think it was 16 this Sunday, they had a 99.3% chance of winning. They lost both times. And they've made history in the worst way. They became the first team ever in NFL history, in the NFL's over century-long history, to move to play 2 games where they've had a lead of at least 15 points and lost both. They're the first team to do it twice in a season. They did it back to back. It's pathetic how horrible that team is. I mean, I don't get it. Meanwhile, Washington lost. I mentioned Philadelphia and the Giants, and Dallas actually had a chance to gain sole possession first place. But they lost to Seattle. Cowboys regretting hiring Mike McCarthy? No? Wow. No, I regret nothing. That seems to be the theme this week. But it doesn't hurt them because the Dallas loss meant nobody in the NFC East won. What the hell happened to that division? Which means the Washington football team, by virtue of their tiebreaker, winning the division game already, they're the first place team at 1-2. The 0-2-1 Eagles, half game out of first. The 0-3 Giants, the best that they are, a game out of first. And it's not a 2020 thing. The NFC East has been bad for some time. But enough venting. Let's get on to the good stuff. The double main event. Oh, part of the good stuff is the Lions won a game. Good for them. Yes, they're a division rival, but I kind of feel sorry a bit for the Lions. But they won. And against Arizona, too. Even better. But let's get on to the double main events. The Packers winning in New Orleans. And it was every bit of the offensive slobber knock I expected to be. Though both teams were actually playing a bit of defense to start. Two teams who knew nothing about defense were actually playing some good defense a bit. But the game ended 37-30. Rodgers did his thing. And now he is 3-0. Any of y'all still regret not picking him to win the division? No? Right then. And it's good for the Packers because not only are we 3-0, but all 3 wins are conference wins. 2 of them are division wins, and two of the 3 are against teams that made the playoffs last year, Minnesota and the Saints. both halves of that crazy walk again with overtime. And the Monday nighter, the other half of the double main event, Kansas City. Mahomes, he saved one of my fantasy games, and he's 3-0, as am I in one league. And they took it to the Ravens. Lamar just can't beat Kansas City. Isn't that something? But the Ravens dropped to 2-1, which means Pittsburgh's in sole possession, first place in the AFC North. That'll be interesting. Pittsburgh looks like they could be back. And I kind of doubted them for the last couple of years because they got rid of their key pieces. You know, they caused a lot of drama, but they also had a lot of talent, so that kind of messed things up for them. But they seem to be back on track, especially with Big Ben back and healthy. I do hope he stays healthy this year. So, yeah, that's my recap of week 3. Any regrets watching this video? No? You shouldn't, because it's good. Anyway, what isn't good is what will start week 4. Week 4 starts with this Thursday game, Broncos and Jets. October 1st, and already we're in the toilet bowl, or one of them. That's going to be a tie. That game might end at a tie. We might have another tie. Who knows? Because both teams are shot to hell. As far as Sunday, so the regional action, the second place 2-1 Ravens go on the road to face the first place 1-2 Washington football team. NFL in 2020, ladies and gentlemen. But it gets better. Battle of the unbeatens, Steelers and Titans. I have to address this because I did read about the Titans and their situation. There's a bunch of positive tests over there. Though I have read there are plans to have that game scheduled, but there is a plan B to push it back to Monday if they have to. But the game is going to commence, for what I've read. Battle of unbeaten, Steelers and Titans. That might be the AFC Championship if Kansas City isn't careful. And another toilet bowl game, Vikings and Texans. As much as I hate the Vikings, I honestly don't know who I want to lose. Because I don't like the Vikings because they're division rival, obviously, and that fan base is completely stupid. But the Texans really deserve to be 0-3 because they traded away their best receiver, who was 2-1. Saints try to lick their wounds and take it out on the Lions. I think they will. Cowboys are at home against the 2-1 Browns. The undefeated Bears, with Nick Foles starting, will host the Colts. That should be a good one. As for the local teams here, the Chargers will face the Brady Bucks. And the Rams will host the 0-3 Giants. So that's an easy win for the Rams. Marquee matchup, Patriots and Chiefs. Mahomes versus Cam. Always good. The Sunday night game is Niners, what's left of them, against the winless Eagles. And, of course, the Monday night game, the undefeated Green Bay Packers against the Falcons in this year's edition of Monday Night Pack. Oh, I love me some Monday Night Pack. It's always good. But anyway, so that's what you have to look forward to in week 4. That's right. We're about 25% through this season. It's off to a good start. And that's my recap of week 3. I will recap the wild card series whenever it ends. And of course, I'll recap week 4 next Tuesday. So with that, I say October's coming. So enjoy the first games of October, and I'll be back on YouTube shortly.